So we've all spent the last few days farming the raid event for Yuri, and finally he's now unlockable in-game. Of course, we have been getting access to the Dragstapelia, which is surprising for a free-to-play card, right? It is a pseudo-boss, it's a really good super poly target. It can negate your opponent's cards, it works with a skill. It's really, really good. Then we've got the Cobra, which I think is a 1 or 2 of in Predaplants, right? And this, again, can be searched out by the skill. So you don't really need 3 copies, but you might want to see an opening hand. That might be a good thing. There is one more brand new thing we got in the game, right? That was surprising. It was a free campaign for a Chronicle version of Blue Eyes, which looks pretty cool in the Black Meadow and the whole Starlight foiling. Of course, we had the main box, the bundle, the pickup box, the deck book box for Rushdoll as well, which will probably have a video on Monday going through the brand new Warrior deck. I am enjoying it, but it is just kind of, it's a real mixed bag, right? But the important thing today is, of course, Yuri's unlock. He's now here. We've got some brand new cards and skills. Fingers crossed they can be good enough for the deck. I don't think Predaplants are going to be super top tier. They might honestly be the worst of the U-Boys on launch, right? Because, of course, Yua has been good in the past. Not on launch, but, you know, with Odd Eyes, Magicians, they've been good. You go with Clearwing, and Speedroid was really good on launch. Phantom Knights were also the best deck for a while on Yuto's release, and so Predaplants with Yuri doesn't seem to be the same thing, but he's a fan-favorite character, and so I think people aren't going to really mind. Starving Venom is a really good card just to have in general, and so, let's see first of all, is the Predaplant Saraceniant. Okay, I'm probably butchered that one. Now, this is a battle trap in your hand. When they attack directly, you stun this card out. After damage calc, destroy the monster battle with. So, not too bad at all. Then, you search out any card from your deck, which is a Predap card, which is not too bad at all. It protects life points, kills the monster, replaces itself. Not too shabby, right? I think as a one-of, this will see play. And as a theme, you're gonna see throughout this unlock, right? Then we've got a level 7, Ultra Poly. This is a really neat card in that it's kind of like Super Poly, in that you can't respond to it nor can your opponent, but it's not quick play, and it only works with cards on your field. This feels like a one-of in Predaplants, and I think it'll be better in something like, say, Lunar Light for Selena, because you play this card, you summon your fusion, and then you can banish it from the graveyard to bring the materials back out. And so in Predaplant, I guess you'll make like a Starving Venom, you'll then go and make the Dragstapelia if you've got another fusion access. Now in Lunar Lights, you've not only got a searchable fusion spell card, but also you can make your middle tier Lunar fusion and then bring my materials and go for the big Panther Dance, whatever it is, right? So I feel like this will be way more suited for that deck in particular, but still a fairly neat card. Then at level 10, our favourite SRUR ticket. Fingers crossed, there won't be that many of these. Then level 11 is Predaplant Ambulomelidas. Now, this is again going to be a one-of. When it's summoned, you can search your deck for any Predap card and add it to your hand, or from your graveyard, or your face extra deck. So, the deck already, just looking at the cards we have, has so many search cards, it's ridiculous. Then, you can target monster opponent controls with a Predaplant counter on it, or monster you control, tribute it, special Predaplant from your deck. And we have a skill that puts a counter on your opponent's card for you. And so, depending on how you kind of line this up, that can be the difference between winning or losing. Getting rid of a really big boss monster opponent controls could also be really big. This card by itself is not going to like win you the game, but as a stepping stone, right, for future summoning this, go to opponent's card, summon another body, do another fusion summon, it's going to help you get there, which is really, really neat. Then we've got our level 14, second copy, we've got our 10 box chips, fair enough, second ticket, okay, and again, just going down to the third ticket, third copies, okay, fair enough. It is a fairly straightforward character in that respect. Overall card-wise, you're going to see these play at 1, I think, at most, right? Like, even if you do, some people are probably going to cut this one, but this one is definitely a one-of in the extra, and so, in terms of free cards, they're okay, right? They're going to see play, so in that sense, they're good, but overall quality-wise, I just think they're okay. Now for skills, we have quite a few new ones because a lot of them got put into the actual the card trader. And so we have Fusion Dark Rays as a new one, which is the same as we've seen for Synchro Dark Rays, etc. Wind Light Dark Rays, in that you're getting a Dark Fusion in your X deck and you're gaining life points and then you're gaining some attack. Sure, it's not that great. Life Point Boost F8 though is again very similar to the other ones we've seen. You can gain some life points in the end phase, you gain even more. Has anyone played these skills at all? I don't really think so, maybe outside of like Suship or something, but like I don't think we'll see play. It's just a neat skill to have, why not? We've got Allured by Darkness, we've got Beatdown, Bloom of Avarice, we've not got the Super Poly skill, which is a little bit weird given that Yuri did use it in anime. It's a little bit weird. We've got Plants Exchange, which is a switcheroo for plants. Precious Cards of the Dark is again another switcheroo, but at the start of your main phase. So whereas the plant one is during the main phase, this one is any card, but it's at the start. So before you make your entire play, you've got to commit to this, which probably isn't too bad, right? Then we have the default skill, Poison Dragon Starving Fangs, which gives you a Starving Ready Merch deck, and it gives you a draw sense if you want it. Predator Dimension, the first of 2 big paragraph essay skills for Yuri. It does lock you into plants or Predaplants in your main deck, which is fine enough, right? Then you can shuffle a Predaplant in your hand to add a Predaplant monster from your deck to your hand, which is a fine switcheroo, right? That's fair enough. For any card you want, that's okay. Then the main phase, you can shuffle any number of monsters from your graveyard into your deck, then add 1 Poly or Predator Pruning from your deck to your hand. This is fine, right? It's either Reborn or a Fusion Access. I don't think this one is anywhere near as good as Starving Venom Invasion. It does have a bit of a harsh restriction, right, in that you can't run plants in your deck. In the other one, you can play like Lonefire Blossom, but in this one, you really can't. Then you reveal 2, they're either a Predaplant card, Poly card, Fusion Spell card, to add a Polymerization mouse to your deck, and a Predap card from your deck graveyard to your hand. So it could be a spell card, could be a monster from material. If only your opponent has a monster in their field, you place a counter on their card, and if you do, its level becomes 1. That's a good thing because it does kind of shut down access to, say, Synchros or Xyz summons, but when the best deck in the format right now, I believe, is Lyrilusks, and they're already level 1 base, right, for rank 1 Xyz, and so this whole mechanic doesn't really do anything against them, which is kind of annoying, but I just kind of think we should have probably got Yuri before we got Lulu. That would have kind of been like a cool anti-meta pick, right? You could have gone, okay, in theory, like Predaplants could have been this deck that is kind of dominating the metagame because it is restricting access to certain levels of cards, and had Lulu come out and actually be this counter to it. Cool little metagame story. I guess you could have kind of gone down that line and done that, but no, we went in the opposite direction, and so I think overall, Yuri is fine for a character. Again, I don't think Predaplants are going to be this top tier deck. Again, could be completely wrong, but I think overall from the box, right, I think that main box it's looking a bit like all over the place. Ghost Trick of seeing success in tournaments, right? Slab Dragon, I think, on ladder are doing really well, but it just seems to be a bit of a mixed bag box overall that you don't need to kind of go into 3 copies of for everything, and yeah, that probably is a good thing, right? Going to a Casey Cup where, of course, afterwards we expect some sweeping changes into a mini box in early December, into a main box New Year's Day. Still so much for the end of this year, right? And but this potentially could be the final speed character for 2024. We'll see what they do. We'll see what they do. Anyway, overall thoughts, again, Yuri is okay. Not outstanding, just okay.